Hi, good evening. I am the Horace Towns. Tonight, you know me as Triple H. Tonight, we're going to go unscripted. Tonight's cast of the Black Super Friends will go unscripted and have a discussion on the life and the legacy of the Kevin Samuels. Please join in. Yeah, I kind of like that, man. That thing kind of fit, man. It's open right now. So, listen, we're going to have an unscripted show tonight. I am the Horace Towns, joined by my best friends that you know around the world as the Black Super Friends. Yeah, we are international. Hey, tonight to show homage to the late Kevin Samuels, we decided to bring it back because everything is amazing in black. Always bet on black. So up top first, I'm gonna go to my main man. You will know him tonight as Chris Samuels.
Yes, man. I only for tonight though, but I want to give a big rest in paradise to the homie, the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, man. Uh, it's always bad when you see another brother gone. So
I absolutely agree. Some don't agree, but we do. Next, I'm going down below Chris Samuels. I want to bring on screen next the man who has his dapper attire tonight. You will know him as Zay, the ladies' man.
Night, guys, man. Hey, welcome. I had to come out in true Kevin Samuels splendor with my good threads.
yeah,
It's what he would do. It's what he would do. So we want to make sure that we keep all black men lifted up, even in times of turmoil and trouble. When other people are trotting down on you, we're gonna keep the legacy alive.
All right.
absolutely.
I'm gonna give you a gift tonight, Zay. When you angry this week, I want you to say what in the French toast.
I
That's
don't
gonna
know.
be the new legacy. All right. Next, I'm going to my main man who always comes with his dapper apparel. And again, we're giving homage to the Kevin Samuels before we have a discussion or before the estrogen invasion comes. Tonight, you will know him and love him as Mr. Hardy.
Greetings and salutations. It's a sad day all over the land for every boy and every baby and unborn man. This is a sad day, but we will get through. We will overcome, and we shall. And if y'all ever missing Kevin in the wee hours of the morning, I entrust in you to tune in to the Black Super Friends every Monday at 9. We will keep hope alive, and his legacy will live on for four kings you see today.
To us.
All right, for sure. Listen, what well, the internet is known to kill people. So me hearing that news was like, no way. Like, ain't no way. Black Twitter is known to put out vicious rumors, and they'll have people dead. You know what I mean? The person eating lunch seeing that they trended on Twitter because somebody said they died in some horrendous accident and whatnot. So that story trended all day, rightfully so, because the proper way of notification is to let the family be notified. But prayers to the mother of Kevin Samuels says she found out through social media about his passing. However, the issue that we'll have, and this will be one of many discussions, is the fact that there was so much from black people, women especially, the disrespectful cheering and banting and some of the posts that celebrated in the death of a man who gave critique and opinion to people who saw it. He gave it to people that saw it. That's first of all. He went viral for talking to a black young man one time who said he only made $16,000. He didn't have a large penis, but he wanted a high value woman and top notch woman. And Kevin Samuels came onto the scene for going viral for telling that man, nah, that ain't enough. You can do more. You're young, work. And somehow it switched when the women who would start calling in for his advice didn't like how the tide turned when that mirror was cast back on them, and accountability was to be had. So to see people celebrate the passing of a black man, no matter what or how you felt about him, I thought was disrespectful. I can tell you about a whole lot of people that passed away, and I didn't see those comments come from our family. So Kevin Samuels dead at the age of 57, leaves behind family. And to sum it up, man, before I play some clips tonight, I wanted to get y'all thoughts on. I'm gonna go to Chris Samuels first.
Man, it's unfortunate. It truly is, man. I've never. There's no one person ever who. There's no one person that whole platform was dedicated to the improvement of men and for men to get the better end of the stick and men to be treated fairly and just for men, for black men specifically to rise or whatever. So I thought that it's really a problem. I see so many people celebrating it, but for women, look, I almost kind of understand as almost like an arch enemy or whatever. But what shocked me was the men. The men is what really, 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 really shocked me. And I say that because, like I said, there's no one else stood up for us. This whole platform was for us. For you to be emotionalist about that is crazy to me. But I think I understand what you disagree with. And what I hate to hear from them is when they say, is you had a guy on your show, on your live said this, that I don't agree with some of the stuff, but not all of his points. I don't know who in the world is held up to that kind of standard, that you got to believe everything and have to agree with everything they say. No one is held up to that standard, but they held this man up to agreeing with everything they say instead of, support. Okay, I understand that. Maybe you disagree. I heard they say they disagree about bashing women. Look, if you want to stop bashing women, I am 100% with that. You will never hear me fight on that. But we got to stop it all the way around the board. When you get in that car, stop playing 20-some-year-old men rapping, talking about B's and H's and what they doing and how they treating them. Let's stop that. I know we talk about the city girls a lot. They are very hard on women. They all this B's and H's and F your man and y'all broke. Let's stop talking. Let's censor them and let's stop bashing all the way around. Now so if you want to get rid of the bash, that's cool. But I heard you disagree with things like maybe you disagree with things like when he said a man should he want to marry within a year. I see that because I see y'all with your baby mamas for years and years and you never marry her. Or when he said marry before you carry, how you got multiple women pregnant, but you didn't marry neither one of them. Or maybe you get offended about when he say, go pay all the bills because you want to go 50-50. Look, the thing is this, man. I think that guys to really hate on this, man, it's the worst thing. It's the most pathetic thing I ever seen. All they want is female validation, and it sickens me. But that's just how I feel about that. That's how I feel about it.
Mr. Hardy.
Well, I kind of understood, like Chris said, I understood that the women was coming through, and I understood some men was coming through because, that's just the way it is. Some people will do whatever. But the thing that was so sickening to me is that it shows you that you got to be so careful in life about what you say. Because no matter how much thought you put into it, no matter how much diversity you give topics, because he bashed men too. It just so happened that women called his show more. That if men had a call equally with the same audacity, then he would have did the same thing to them. But since men knew, like, I don't want to be no fool, and when the shit I'm finna have to say to this man, I've seen him bash it. Well, not even bash. I've seen him critique this brother, and I, like Chris said, I fit the same criteria as that brother. So why would I call his show and get a critique when I know I don't live up to his standards? Just common sense. But day after day and month after month, we seen women with no gun held to their head call into his show. Ask him. They know he's unfiltered. They know he's going to come with his point of view. They know he's very deliberate, and he delivers it precisely, straight to the point. But yet and still, you call and want him to change his platform to appease people who call in his show. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And these will be the same people that tell you, well, I'm just like that. I don't listen to what nobody else say. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But you want this man on a platform, he says, open to callers. Anybody can call. Anybody can call. These people call, and he talked to them like this day after day after day after day. And some more called. And some more called. And then you're right. 90% of the people who call were women. But this the last point I got to make. And this shows you the bad standing we are in America right now. Because nobody takes accountability. Instead of them saying, hey, y'all women, let's band together and stop calling his show. This man don't know how to treat us. This man talks down to us. All women don't call Kevin Samuels. That's not what happened. 90% of his viewers are women. And the women who call the show are women. So you sit there and you want to be the woman that's going to read him, that's going to tell him he wrong, that's going to prove him and show him. So you call in, and it happened to be he's an articulate man, show after show after show, and give it to you, and then you get mad when he comes back at you and stands up and don't back down because he doesn't care about the normal cliches. Oh, you can't say that to a woman. Oh, you can't do this. You do this. He like, you come on my show. This is the energy you're going to get if you give it to me. And it's just sad that all I see is, I'm happy he did. Well, he died alone. All this kind of stuff. And it doesn't change you. Because if he died alone, cool. Well, what he said about most women is still true. Go ahead, my brother.
Ladies, man.
Hey, Mario, that was really funny. I think I even posted a meme about that where he was walking up those pearly steps. He was walking up the stairs to the pearly gates, and he said, "You're still fat and you're still alone," which was hilarious. But as you said, Mario, I think you kind of covered everything. He did start off, and he said that, though. He started off with his platform to get men together, tighten them up. But he noticed that, what you said, Mario, men didn't want to face that accountability. But then the women started to pour in. And I think just like with any business, it was a corporate restructuring. So it was like, okay, I'm going to pay attention to who's paying attention to me, which happened to be the women. And you were right, Mario. The women got on and they thought that they were going to change this individual. I think what's sad is because he actually used what a lot of women use, which is, I'm going to have the same energy towards you, towards them. Exactly what you said happened, occurred. A man shouldn't talk to a woman like that, but no one stops to say, why are women talking to men like this? And why are we talking to each other this way? So, I mean, if you actually want to fix a problem, you don't keep displacing blame on the other side. You actually look at what the problem is and try to work on that. And I genuinely felt like that's what he was trying to do. He had his own way about going it, but at the end of the day, it was his way. 2 + 2 = 4. So does 3 + 1. And that was his formula to getting where he needed to be. Meet you with the same energy and hope that you'll turn the tide. But it didn't. It actually brought about hatred for this man because he was honest with these women who actually called in for his help. So, like I said, it's just a sad day. Rest on to that brother.
Well, I would say this, guys. At first, I got woken up that morning because I didn't know what happened. And, I had friends, oh, your king died, really funny stuff like, wow, damn, like, okay. So what if this was somebody, a friend or somebody that I really like, it made me look at them different. So when we seen the latest videos, they made me say, you know what? If this bothers you so bad, let me keep on posting. So I've been posting videos left and right. If you didn't like Kevin Samuels before, I'd be damned if these videos ain't gonna be everywhere you turn around and look. Because now, bro, I've been seeing new clips that I've never seen before. And I just asked one lady friend on one of my other pages, like, how does this bother you so much? You don't. So you telling me you log in every week to watch a segment, and you telling me, oh, he the way he talked to queens and make people feel like, oh, if I went on the show, he would have ranked me a 4. And I'm thinking, do you accept someone telling you that you're a 4? So some of the logic behind it, I just didn't understand. But what I did want to do is, let's be fair. I'm gonna give y'all a clip of one video where he was, people could take it. So here's an example of what people might have been triggered by.
I'm stingy with it. I do not give it up easily.
Were you married to your daughter's your baby mama though, right?
Baby, I've never been married, no, but I just
Okay,
don't.
so
I know.
hold on. Let's talk about this though. See, I find it funny that women like yourself, baby mamas, all of a sudden want to get stingy with the puss after you done gave your womb up before a ring, but then you want the high value men to put a ring on it before he gets it.
So am I supposed to give it away?
You goddamn right you already did. Because here's the thing. See, that's what I mean. Ma'am, you're a used vehicle wanting brand new 2021 prices.
So coming back to you guys, this is how men talk though. I mean, the lingo might not, I see a lot of people when he was talking about the young dude who was talking about what kind of woman he wanted, didn't make enough, didn't have a big penis, blah, blah, blah. I seen women in the comment, oh, he dusty. That's the word dusty. Oh, he's this, and that, right? But when the tide turned, then it became a problem. But those are just examples of clips that went viral and controversial. But as a man, I didn't hear. Did y'all, I'm going to each of you, did y'all hear anything that I thought was abrasive? Ladies man, what you heard?
Sound like the truth to me. He was just being honest with her. I mean, that's the one thing that, like you said, I've heard so much bashing on all type of levels with this man. He's a DL brother. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. No man is perfect. So what? Is what he's saying to you a lie? And if it's not, then can the other crap. It's simple for me, but I understand where they're coming from. Nobody don't like the truth. It's okay.
Mr. Hardy.
Like I posted this earlier this week, like all great leaders, I'm gonna call them that. You don't really respect and have admiration for it until it's gone, and then you realize, like, dang, this man was preaching, and I was one of the people in the choir who just wouldn't say amen, and then you feel a little shame and down deep in your soul. And I just want to know that I'm just waiting for the day, because somebody gonna wake up one day and say, dang, this. When I take all my feelings out of it, take all the emotions out of it. We all smart. We understand it's more than one way to say stuff. We understand it's more than the meaning of words. So when he's saying what he's saying, you take the emotion out of it, it's completely true. Completely true. Like not halfway, not sorta. It's completely true. And then if he had said it in another nicer way, then everybody would be like, well, I understand what he's saying, but they still wouldn't have liked it, because it causes you to say that a woman has to be held to the same standards as everybody else in this world, and that I know it's just not true.
Chris Samuels.
I think honestly, man, I think the problem where we go at is when we trying to make women understand men logic. And they're just not going to do it. And we're going to bump our head, and we're going to go, and you've seen hours and hours of arguing with women trying to make him understand their logic. I think the message was for us. We have to receive the message and say, look, this is, whether she believes it or not, whether she thinks so or not, this is how I feel. I just think it should be respected for anybody to be able to say exactly how they feel and not worry about the army of people that's against you. I think it takes courage to do that. You know what I'm saying? You may not agree with it. You may not. I've heard things that I don't agree with that women say. But at the end of the day, man, I think that I look at that man for having the courage to say what he want to say, show up every single day, continue the message, and continue to say the messages to get black men and black women together. That's the message, regardless of what other frosting or seasoning in that. The message is to get black men and black women together, married and creating nuclear families. And I don't know how you can hate that.
Yeah, interesting point you made earlier, Chris, is the fact that you told me the other day on the live, we can talk about black girl magic, we talk about female black women empowerment, but when we turn the table and talk about the improvement of men, black men, it's not and it's not cheered. It's rarely supported. Hell, even us having an opinion is kind of like this thing. Like you ain't got to like Kevin, but me as a man, I'm posting videos and I have a woman. Some of these angry birds come on the thing and attack me for what I choose to share or what I agree with, or say, "Oh, y'all need to look at the men that support Kevin Samuels," and you'll see dudes that curve, and I'm like, "No,
Yes, you do.
I'm that dude." Like, yes, call me out on it. But the thing I wanted to show y'all, and I'll show a clip of it. You see all these videos that are clickbait and people be angry about, but what about the videos like this?
A lot of us women agree with you, and we're meeting a person, a man that's a leader like you, and my husband, for instance. I just appreciate everything that you do, and I just have to tell you that because you really have helped me in a lot of ways. Women who've never had a father figure, and you come up and you stand up and you take root and say, no, this has to change. There's people that really appreciate that. And I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you and everything that you do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, in that instance, those are clips that you never see. If I let that play longer, there was a woman who came on and said, dang, I got my ass together. She said, I really had my head in the clouds. She said, I was so busy building myself up because I didn't want to face the reality that, damn, like I got all these accolades and I'm lonely as hell. She said, I go and dress up and do all this stuff. But she said, I was doing that for me. And the person I want, like he gave us some solid advice. And she went on and said, damn, thank you. Thank you, because I didn't see it. But once I was open to hearing what you had to say, then I got it. What y'all thought about that clip? Chris Samuels.
I think when they say he's a part of the Great Divide, I agree with it. I totally agree with being the Great Divide. I think that women that I'm on this side. I agree with this man. I agree with this man, and I support this man. I'm on this side. There's men that's obviously not. Take them men and them women, put them women together, men and women together, and y'all go do whatever y'all want to do. Because us men that's ready to marry, that's ready to make some of these ladies our women, we want them type of women with that type of humility, women that's ready to submit, women that's helpful and cheerful and respectful and cooperative. We want them. So let's continue this divide. I've seen a lot of men virtual singlet saying they don't agree. Ladies, go to them men. They right there. They showing you who they are. All you got to do is go over there and pick them. Let the other women that's left that really wants to work with a man, let us get them men. Let us get them women and start families, and y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want to do, man. I'm totally with this. I think it should be. I'm glad you can see the difference in women. I'm glad you can see the ones that celebrate. Stay the fuck over there somewhere.
Ladies, man.
That's a hard act to follow there, Chris. Hey, I'm in agreement. I'm one of those things is, as a man that is looking forward to marry, you do want to have a woman that doesn't think that her shit don't stink. And you got to have a man that knows that he has to do some work as well. And I think that's what Kevin brought to the table. Boo to the women that think that it was all about them. It wasn't. It was just to get you to see that there's some things that you can do better. But he took the same approach that you guys took. That some women would say is feminine, or he was a down low brother. I think he met you with the same energy. He's bold enough to say some things that guys wouldn't say, just because we were taught that you just don't say those things to women. But no one, again, like I say, no one told women that you just don't speak that way to men, because y'all have y'all role models like the City Girls and Meg the Stallions who tell y'all, I don't listen and I'm whatever she said, hard-headed, something goofy, but whatever. Men who like those women, follow them, like Chris said. And the women who like the men who cater to you and never gonna stand up in the place and erect himself as a real man, get them. They are right there for the picking. They showed you who they are. They right there. I think it's very simple. I think it's simple. We don't got to beat a dead horse with it.
I seen, Chris said at one point that was very true. He said a lot of people are saying, I think Horace said this too, that your father figure. They throw that word around, right? Well, see, I'm about to have 2 little boys. I got one little boy and another little boy that's on the way. And I hope and see his message to his so-called sons is going to be reciprocated with me to mine like this. Stop looking for a girl if you ain't got no money. If you have too much time, go get you another job and get you some more money. If you want this type of woman likes a man who has good credit, who goes to the gym, or who eats right, or who cares about his appearance, not even about weight, just appearance. This type of woman like this. If you make this kind of money, you can pay the cost to be the boss. Then you won't have to be the kind of guy who she could tells what to do, because you come in holding your own weight, son. This is what I'm gonna tell my son. The same stuff he was telling me out there today. Hey, and I'm pretty sure his mom's gonna okay that, because she doesn't want a lazy, no good for nothing son. So I'm gonna say you're right. I don't want you out here trying to date a woman that's up 6 degrees, making all this money, and then you laying around working 4 hours a day on her couch. I don't want that either. You're a lazy man. Get up and get some more money. Get some more time. Better yourself. Be articulate. See, all that right there is what he was saying over and over and over to men. Over and over and over to men. But nobody wants to care about that, because we want to coddle little boys and empower young women. And that's why it's all thrown off. But thank God he gave me 2 little boys who was gonna. I welcome all city girl entries to my little boy's life. I'm gonna show you.
Hey, listen, let me ask you that. Why are the city girls all a role model? When I think of role models, I would just say this. The interesting part about that, Piff, it should not be, because I know women that I went to school with, and I know younger women. This philosophy of listen, I ain't gonna do the city girl creed, but I will say this: the people that's preaching that oftentimes in whole relationships. The people that had those, Cardi B was telling y'all to do X, Y, Z. Cardi B got a husband, having kids. I listened to some of the city girl music. Hey, the beats are phenomenal. The tracks are slamming. But the lyrics, to hear older women or mature women, or even the accomplished women adopt that philosophy about men and how dating goes, like, you lose. Yeah, you dating a couple Negroes, it ain't the same thing. Chris Sammons, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I keep on saying them women can go over there. The ones that don't want to agree, that want to fight and put up all that shit, just go over there. All them guys that agree with you, that feels the same way, that's willing to talk and say, well, it's men too, and not all, and all the little catchphrase shit, just go over there. We are ready to have women that wants to be cooperative, that believes in men, that likes men, that's willing to do things for men. Them the women that we want. If you disagree, go over there and find one of them. You should be perfectly happy with them. But here, like I told a woman the other day, she asked me, can I hook up with one of my homeboys? Like, I don't know no good boys. I don't know no good men. I know thorough men that get busy, that handle their own, that you can't talk to in any kind of way, that's not going to walk on eggshells around you. I don't know good boys. I don't know good men. You keep them good men that you like, that you control, and that don't say what they want to say. I don't know them. I don't even want to hang out with them. And if you like them, just get out of the dating pool and go over there. Because when you say it's piss in the pool, you the piss.
Yeah, but I don't think that, Chris. I think this to interject. So you can't let somebody who has no power in telling what something is give it a name. Men decide what good men are, because we know what a good man is. So if you're saying that's a good man, what you describe, a man who not taking nothing, a man who is out here solid, so that's a good man. What you looking for, ma'am, is not a good man, and all I know is good men. I'm sorry. I don't know half-ass men. I don't know do boys. I don't know mama's boy. I don't know them. I know men who are not going to tolerate no yes. They don't want a yes woman. They don't want a yes ma'am. They want order, and they want reliability, and they want a partner. They don't want no damn water.
Yeah.
That's a good man though. So I
But
can't
see,
let somebody
see
who is
what-
not a man dictate what a good man is. Because I can't tell you what a good woman is. I can tell you what a good woman for me is, but I can't tell you what a good woman is because I've never been a woman. So women need to stop saying what's a good man. You don't know what's a good man because your good man might not be that girl, your sister good man. Your sister good man might not be your mama good man. So women have no right or no law or no credence to say what a good man is because you've never been a man.
But see, and I agree with you 100%. But
How dare
I'm
you
not
say
fighting
that?
with them. I'm not fighting with them over the word. So I would take you can have the word, and I'm gonna use thorough because that's more the way I want to describe the men that I know. I look at these men as thorough men. I know these good men has done bad things, but they're thorough. I can trust them. I believe they ain't gonna leave me. They ain't gonna leave their kids. They gonna handle business. If they go on dates, they're gonna pay. They're gonna do all these things. So I just like to take a whole nother movement, a whole nother word, just to use it thorough because everybody wants to use good. And too many people throw that adjective on shit and it don't apply to them. So for me personally, thorough is the word I'm gonna use.
Piff, that is pretty much the ideology. That was my response to a lot of them. I just asked some of my lady friends, how did someone's comments have you that triggered unless it resonated somewhere inside of you? That was my only question to a lot of women. Like, Derrick Jackson, that dude, bro, you ain't see us. Like when we had discussed him, I said my insight and moved on. I didn't tune in to him. I had no debate about him. I felt how I felt about him. For the people that agree with him, cool. You know what I mean? But for you to have that much, I don't think anybody should be able to have that kind of effect on you. So when I see some of our fellow friends come from the Kitten Club and, talking about how he impacting their life, how is that possible? How is that possible?
I think it's extremely dangerous when we think that women are so weak that a man on the internet can affect them. I think that we discrediting the strength that women tell us that they have, the what they say they've been through and how much valor they had to show and how much they had to go through. No, I refuse to believe that a one man on the internet saying comments about certain women can bring down and bash a whole group of women, not our women who tells us how strong they are, who tell us how resilient they are. And I'm willing to believe that 100%. So no way am I going to say, because remember on your live, another dude say he bringing down black women. You cannot bring down black women with words. No possible way. And I think it's harmful for us to believe that black women are that weak because they're not.
Okay. Let me ask you something. I asked somebody a simple question the other day, and I said, did you even know what his mission statement was? And they was like, oh, he just bashed it. I said, did you ever watch the clip of him talking about what his premise was? No, I didn't. I said, okay, let me show y'all a small clip, my guys.
I need to really say this. I take no particular pride or pleasure in doing shows like this because I know it triggers certain black women. I know they do. I know some of them get pissed. I've heard women on YouTube saying things that they don't watch the show end to end. And I'm not going to, and that's not going to change anything because there are far more women and far women who are listening. And who are the recipients? The women who listen end to end and are saying, well, you've changed my life. You've helped me look at this way or that way. Those women are benefiting. And guarantee when those women come into contact with men doing something, they all benefit. We're better off working with each other, trying to understand one another. None of us are perfect. Certainly not me. I ain't shit. I got a lot of problems. It's like anybody else. We all got issues. But just like Ice Cube, when the brother steps up to do something, support. Find ways to support. Even if you have an issue with something it's doing, can you find 4 or 5 things about it that you like before you start off with the one thing you don't like? Because you cannot keep painting black men in this ain't shit box. They don't all fit there. And brothers are starting to push back and say, no, 51% of us are single and childless and 64% in the middle class. They're here. Can you interact with them just in a peaceful, civil way? If you never get married and never have kids, can you have a higher quality of life? Can you just be happy? Can you stop walking through life with your hands up ready to fight the reflection of you, the opposite sex reflection of you? I don't walk through life looking at black women as though they're my enemy. And I would hope that for the black women who this applies, you stop walking through life assuming that black men are somebody to challenge, somebody to overcome, to struggle against. We don't need that.
Well, listen, I played that clip in its entirety because those are the sincere moments that most people, like I say, watch clips. Who cannot understand or resonate with that?
Piff. As you can see what she's writing on here.
Women have been told they are strong, but does that mean they do not have feelings? Why is it that black women have to be held to a standard where they cannot feel the way they feel? We have to change that standard. We have to change that standard. Black women are still women. How did that tie into?
See what I'm saying? And if you go into it, then you fall into a trap. What we have to do is just stop. If she feels that way, great. Move on, because you're going to reach women that don't feel that way, that hear exactly what you're saying and connect with them. If she don't, she has to get left aside. I should have called myself Chris Tuckman tonight. I could saved 1,000 women. I could have saved more if they knew they was wrong. So that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something. How many of y'all can relate to that definition? Darren Jones says bashing women equals saying something true about women that women don't like, or
That's
women to be held accountable.
That's why I said it's dangerous to abandon words. Words have meanings. You cannot wake up one morning and just set the meaning for words. Nah, you cannot do that. Like right now, that's why you're gonna say, well, I don't want to say bashing. I don't want to say this. So damn. So now we're gonna have to use half the dictionary because you want to rewrite it. We cannot do that. This means that. Like right now, Chris good woman. I'm gonna go back to this. Zay good woman, my good woman, and Horace good woman are completely different women. Okay. But guess what? The caveat is Chris get to marry his, Zay get to marry his, I get to marry mine, you get married yours. So it doesn't matter what you say is good in a whole, it matters what they say is good to them. Right now, it's like all race is always, why can't us women? Why can't us this? Why don't you speak for yourself? Just yourself. Ooh. Just yourself. Speak for you. If everybody just say, you know what? Before we can get on this one big float and have this big parade, let me start with me. Let me smile at more black men. Let me try to check my tone with the black men in my life. You don't have to go do it to strangers. Do it to the ones you already trust. Just do it with them. Do it to the ones you already have a relationship with. Why don't you try to listen to their thoughts and give them a safe space so they can tell you what they say. And it might align with some of the stuff we saying. But like Chris was saying, most times people scared to say it to you because they don't want to get judged, harassed, like Horace was saying, or ridiculed by their opinion. It's a lot of men who feel just like Kevin said. It's only the brave gonna come out in the and loud and say it. And that's just the truth it is too. Because nobody wants to be the man that's bashing a black woman in 2022. You can't afford it as a man to bash a black woman these days. You'll be eating McDonald's off the dollar menu by the time they're done with you.
Bro, we all played sports. We all played sports. When a coach was arguing at you and fussing at you and getting at you, it's because he gave a damn. It wasn't, he don't bash and critique because he don't give a damn. I was always told in my whole history of sports, I think you guys can back this up, when your coach stop talking to you, when they stop critiquing you, that's when he don't give a damn no more. And you're probably going to be buried at the end of the bench. I think we need to get to the point where we stop fussing and fighting with them. We search for the women that agree and treat them women the best we can possibly treat them. I mean, to the point where it's like they go back singing our praise. That's what we need to do. Women that don't disagree, don't hate them, wish them well, let them go on about their business. But the ones that do, let's take them up, let's treat them well, let's do what we're supposed to for them, and let's move the fuck on. Move on from this.
I agree with that. I'm tired.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of fussing
Entirely.
every time we say something. I'm tired of every time we say something they disagree, or it always got to come back to them. No, tired of it. Move on, fellas. Find the ones that agree, that want to be with you, that like you, and treat them like the best women in the world. Period. That's what we're doing from now on.
Well, there's some similarities with the show. We have all revolved as that person in the spotlight on this show. And I will say that we speak as men on topics. And it's interesting because the people that come to our show, to the comments, to object on our thoughts as men are typically women, right? And we got some, revolving door people that come in there. I'm actually some off topic. Is it to a point where we shouldn't invest that much energy into it anymore? Whether the black man, black woman thing, is it a point where we just fucking too gone? Like, is it just it's not worth the energy? Like, we too far gone at this point?
Absolutely not, dog.
No.
Absolutely not.
Anything worth having is worth fighting for, I believe. With great, reward comes great responsibility. So I don't think that you need to give up the fight on that, because it's man and woman. So we as black people got to get it together. I like what Mario said, but I've been saying that. But I guess I'm the calm and docile one for the most part on the show. But I say it all the time. Stop displacing energy and saying this person should do this and this person need to do this. Look at yourself. Fix the things that you know are flawed. You know you're flawed. You know you are. But before I'd rather fix it, I'd rather find 2 or 3 things that I know that you're not right on, so that I don't have to fix me, so that everyone will stop looking at me. And you got to just stop that, both men and women. But again, like I said, I digress, because Lighthearted said, if there's somebody good for each and every last one of us, I'm just trying to find that one so that I can fix the things that's wrong with me, because Lord knows that I know I ain't right. So, hey, women, y'all can fight it and say what you want and say that is bashing and say that a person is treating you or talking bad to you or whatever the case may be, and not look at what they're actually saying and try to work on yourself. Or, you can play victim. It is what it is. Men too.
But to have a real fight, it requires 2 people to be in the ring. Anything else is just goddamn onslaught, So I hear you.
It's bullying. No, it's bullying, and it happens so much. It's so funny because it's like, we said this before. Kevin spoke the truth. You even have women that say Kevin spoke the truth, but then you hear down low, brother. Hey, that's y'all leader. He Metro. He like boys. Okay, if he does, who cares? Don't like me, but he talking about your ass. Get right. You know what I mean? But that's so hard for some women to do, not all, because some of them get it. And it is what it is. But like you say, to me, I don't like confrontation. So whenever I meet women that come with me like this here on everything, I go ahead and backpedal away for you. You good. You're going to be great in life. You're going to be great in life. Probably by yourself. Like they said, he left by himself, but it's crazy because he left on top of somebody. So he wasn't alone. But Mario said that a long time too. Men can do some things that women just can't do and be fine. But again, for him to take the time out to pour into women the way that he did, no matter if he was hard, your teacher that was hardest on you when you got out of school, you actually thank God for them. That auntie that was hard on you growing up, or uncle or whatever, you didn't understand it then, but later on, you understood full well. And I think that's what's going to happen with Kevin. They're going to actually make him into a martyr because they hated him so much. They're going to make him into a martyr. But it is what it is. What do I know? Go ahead.
No, I'm going to hard neck. I think I absolutely agree with you, man. I think now you're going to see I've seen his clips played more than ever now, which I will highlight. That morning of, y'all seen my social media. I had motherfuckers take time to reach out and send me messages. And I felt like some of the messages wasn't insensitive. Some of it was bitter. Yes, it was toxic. Nobody want to hear that word. Some of you motherfuckers are toxic. You know what I mean? One of the people that was giving me the most grief, I was like, let's have a real conversation. You know why your ass is single. And don't say it's because of men. You know what I mean? That's why Kevin gave you something and you didn't really like it. But shit, like I said, when my coach told me I would never play running back, it was hurtful. But I took my ass to wide receiver and had a better career. Mario Hardy.
Well, you asked a good question. You said, do you think it's about time that we just like, are we tired of it? Can you say that question one more time for me?
No, I'm asking is it at a point where the Great Divide, the whole mission of trying to bring black men and black women back together, is it a lost cause at this point?
No, I think
spinning our tires.
I think it go back to what Chris said, alluded to earlier in the show. I think that we don't have time for every player. So we got to focus on the ones that actually want to play the game that we trying to coach. Every coach in the NBA coach a different system. Some players work better in some systems. Right now, as a coach, if you got a guy and you running this kind of system and they don't want to do what you want to do, hey, they just have to play for your system. So I think that right now, if you're saying this as a man and you got people who don't want to hear to it, don't want to listen to it, or think you some kind of low life man, don't pour into them no more. And let their life fall well. We wish you well. You might go to another team and excel. But as for me, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm getting older. I don't have time to keep fighting battles with people who just don't want to see my truth. You don't have to see my truth. You can go listen to whoever you want to and talk to.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm learning right now in my latter years of life is this. Not only don't you have to listen to me, but you won't listen to me. Because you don't have, I'm not gonna wait till you cut me off, because I'm gonna cut your ass off. So the minute you keep going back and forth, the minute you keep pulling, and I'm like, no, because I'm doing this to help you. This is not for me. But if you can't see that, then I understand, my sister. I won't have no communication with you about that no more. And I had just told somebody this weekend, I had to learn to be okay with people I love not having nothing. The more money I got in life, the more I went up in this world, I was just fighting tooth and nails for some people to just get it. And I had to tell myself, I have to be okay with people I love not having nothing. It's a lot of women out here who I really love, who I really want to have the life that they tell me they want. Not that I want for them. They tell me that they want. But if you don't want it, my sister, you don't have to worry about DeMario bashing you anymore. I'm okay with you not having nothing. Thank you.
Perfectly fine. Stop
Listen.
arguing. Stop fussing. If they cut, because I don't know too many men that's just seeking out women to get advice from. Most of the time, it's women want to hear what a man advice and get their perspective on a thing, and you only do it just to disagree. That's fine. I don't have time for that. I can spend all my time with women that do want to listen, that don't want to disagree everything. They can probably have a difference of opinion, but all that, no, you wrong, no, it ain't like that, that ain't it. Done talking to them women. Done. I don't have no energy no more for them women. I'm the macho Camacho. No mas.
Listen. Well, let's talk about this show. We got 4 dudes on this show, and we've had some moments where we've really been rocking socking. Where Chris will say something to me I didn't like, and I say something to Chris, and I might say something to Zay. But the point is, you get a lot of accountability because you see men being transparent. You see men stretching. We won't go into details, but Chris had an issue with some of my approaches with dating, But then he had a situation where I said, well, my guy, if you would have, look, now you can look at it from a different angle after the experience you have. And it's been vice versa like that. But y'all made a good point, man. For the ones that want to get it, they can get it. Anybody else, get the hell on. So Kevin Samuels is gone. So now it's going to be, there's going to be a spotlight open for somebody. I can't think of the other guy. It was another guy that was there before. Tommy, yeah. And Tommy didn't even get he didn't even get that kind of kickback. So I
you know what?
Huh?
Because Kevin took a shine.
No, because of what Horace alludes to a lot. Right now, I have to give him credit.
Thank you.
Kevin Samuels came on clean,
Mm-hmm.
articulate, well-spoken, nice ambiance. Tommy come on with a t-shirt, a hat. He a chubby guy, dark skin. Don't want, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just being real, like, dark, always wearing his hat, See, people come up, women like, yeah, I like that. I don't care about that. But that man had been preaching what Kevin Samuels had been preaching for many years before him. And he never had that following because he's not pleasing to the woman's eyes. Because at the end of the day, it would take men watch Tommy, and he don't have all these ratings. It would take women to to watch Tommy, and they don't, because they're gonna say, not only is I don't like what you're saying, but I don't like to look at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did a
Double
video.
negative, you done.
I didn't even post it. I had a video. I'm being sarcastic. I'm like, forget all that. They looking for the Russell Wilson guy. I said, you know what, dude? Right now, do what Mario said. Get your ass in the gym and be physically appealing first. I was just being an ass on the video. Like, hey, I hear what they telling y'all, but guess what? Get in the gym and present yourself to be the best visual thing, and watch how your numbers go up. They'll get to know who you potentially are later on. Right now, she's stuck on that. I was gonna do that video just to be an a-hole. But again, that visual. They
want what they want. They don't want what you want. They want what they want. Like, women want to look at a certain type of man. Women want to listen to a certain type of man. Women want to be with a certain type of man. Women have babies from. I'm just saying, it's that. So that's why I always tell men don't fight it. If you want that kind, be that man. It's that easy. If you don't want that kind, then do what Chris said. Get the woman that actually wants you. If you only got two options in life. If you want a woman that don't want you, become the man that she wants. See how that works out for you. Or if you don't want to transform into no other man, then get the woman that actually likes you, who you are. It's simple. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, Chris.
Can you put up that comment from the barber?
Oh man.
He's referring to what I got as a beard. Yeah, so it took 40-some years, man. And somebody finally referred to what I got as a beard. So I like to say, shout out, my brother. I appreciate you, because my barber friend under me has never referred to what I have, this peach fuzz I got up here as a beard. Never. He's been disrespecting me all my life. It took me 40-some years, man. Thank you, my brother.
Can we be honest? There were a lot of years I thought I couldn't get a beard when I was going to Xavier as my barber, and they would give me the Abraham Lincoln, the chin strap. I was like, Zay, don't touch my beard. What did he do? Yeah. I said, he don't want me to be great, man. So we got to bring him back on charge.
Tell the truth. You started putting that fertilizer on it. That's what happened.
What?
I say
you started putting fertilizer on it.
In a dungeon now.
Oh yeah, man.
As the hood turns.
You know what? I did you wrong, my brother. I'm sorry. I made him go to the dungeon.
Yeah,
the dungeon and the fertilizer made the beard grow.
He fresh off work. They got a chemistry though.
No,
that should be a show.
You know what?
Them boys got a chemistry though. I like that shit.
That's like Lamont and Fred Sanford.
Like if you watch the
I
they got
a
chemistry going.
Listen, I gotta throw a flag on that last segment. There's no reason why that man should be cutting your hair with his nipples showing. That's a damn problem. There's a flag on that play. I wanted to report y'all to OSHA and everything else. I said no, that's too much like police behavior. So I let y'all live.
Listen, one thing about my barber looked like he about to do an oil change, fry some chicken, lay some grass,
all purpose,
bruh. You never know what I'm gonna walk up on, right?
And his customer service is, oh my God, it's
the worst.
He gonna give it to
his employee be cussing out his clients.
Bro, I had seen it 2 years. I come to $2. Oh, you need a haircut too, nigga. You ain't got no hair. I said, well, I don't need no haircut from you. How about that?
The worst.
I will tell you this. I told him I wanted him to cut it a certain way. He's like, nah, that ain't gonna work. I said, I'm paying you. You gonna tell me what? Nah, you gonna look crazy, boy. You gonna look like. But I was like, okay, well, what it is, man. Listen, let me ask you something, guys. What?
No, I was gonna ask you if was that the one cut that you displayed that time? He just gave you what he wanted to give you. You were mad about that cut.
And put the razor on it. Put the razor on it, boy. You know how bad you gotta be.
He made sure
it an extra 3 days.
Hey, he called. And T Black, just don't listen.
It's bad to have a bad haircut, but the razor gave it an extra
You
life,
ain't got to go that far.
Hey,
bro.
ladies, y'all are not alone.
17.
T Black don't listen either. It's not just black women. T Black don't listen either. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
I'm a damn sure giving that clip. T Black do not listen, man. Listen. Let me tell you something, man, before we get out of here. Bro, I mean, the man came on the scene Kobe style. Came out of nowhere. Listen, people that won't admit this brother came and changed the podcast game. He made people start talking about dating and relationships again. He came on that thing clean as a whistle, told you to get your stuff together. There's nothing wrong with being a better you. Work out. You got extra time, get another job. Like, this is some big brother stuff, bro. You got too much time on your hand, man. Get them women, get the money, double back on that. Work out, lose weight, get the dress game up. Oh, you ain't got no money? Hey, this is what I did. Oh, when I first came out, I went and bought these suits until I can get more money. Bro, that's the blueprint for a joker that don't know nothing. He gave the game. So hopefully people will go back and watch some of them episodes. But I want to ask y'all guys, where does it go from here? I always tell y'all, I love Kevin Samuels, but I love our show. We have dropped some amazing shows on here. And if a person get it, man, we had some people to admit, yeah, y'all said some stuff made me look at things different. Where do we go from here? The man is, he's gone. The video, his clips will be viral now and whatnot. But I don't know if somebody takes the mantle. But what y'all think? What's going to be the atmosphere?
It's simple. We've been saying this all night. You go on. You just keep going. Like you said, I shared that information with you guys on this panel when I was elated. A woman, I never expected it. She's older than us, you know what I'm saying, pulled me to the side and talked to me about our podcast and told me some of the things that some of the black women expressed about Kevin Samuels. Ooh, y'all got under my skin. Y'all really agitated me so much so till I turned it off. She said, and I sat down and I thought about it though, and y'all were right. And I had only got off of it because it was everything that I was. And I was blown away because I wasn't expecting that. And she said that she tunes in every Monday ever since. And I think that was the same thing that happened with the young ladies with Kevin Samuels. It burnt them up that what he was saying they knew was the truth, but they wanted somebody to coddle them. And he just wasn't having it. So, I think that we should continue to just speak our truths the way he did. I mean, we don't have to take the approach that he took as far as talking to women that way, but I think that we should be men and be firm in what we're saying and be direct, but also be the men who, whatever we say, that's what we are actually doing so that our words match with our actions. And that's all that we can do as men. I'm sorry.
Ladies man.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
What up, bro?
Say what we want to say, man. What the hell are you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, 1 + 1 = 2. So does 2 + 0. And however you want to go about it is what you do. I just say that I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I don't have to talk down to you or whatever. If you're listening, you listen. If you don't, I know exactly where to place you. I'm the CEO of me. So I know which way this train going. I ain't got to talk to you the way that you talk to me. I can just end the conversation. It's simple to me, but do what you may, my brother.
Kudos to you, Xavier.
Do what you may, my brother. You
Chris
better
Samuel.
know it.
I think we just need to, like Zay said, press on, man. I think the number one approach, even if you do want to tone down the critique of women, I say that's your business. But the core of this is for men to be better. You know what I'm saying? The core of this should be for men to have the same courage as he do. So if you want to tell the truth, you got to tell the truth. Don't hide behind the truth. If you asked a question, tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? But as far as just the core message, man, yeah, like, look, we're getting up in age. If we do get with a woman and we start to kick it like that, we need to be assessing her for marriage. We need to, if we get into a real relationship and we take her in, then we probably need to foot most of the bills, or if not all. We need to spend more time. We can't be worried about how many points LeBron scored, or smoking weed with the homies, or PlayStation, or all this other bullshit, and letting 20-some-year-old rappers lead our life. We should lead our life. We should lead our households. We should lead all that, man. I think that was the core message. Beyond all the other bullshit, and I don't even want to call it bullshit. I just think that was the message, and we need to continue that. When we first started this podcast, that was what we started it for male improvement, to hold men accountable. It was never about arguing or fussing with women. It was about holding us accountable and doing the things that we need to do and talking the things that we need to talk about, and unapologetically and fearlessly. So let's continue to do what we've been doing and just move forward, like Zay was saying.
Mr. Hardy.
I'm gonna take a different approach. This really opened my eyes to some stuff. To even what Chris was saying, to a fact. I feel like sometimes getting wrapped up in stuff that doesn't build, or I can't afford or don't have the leisure to put that much time into art going back and forth with women. So I'm gonna refrain from commenting or helping any until they need my help. Like, I just don't got the time. And the older I'm getting up, I'm beginning not to care. So, I got my own sisters, cousins. It's hard for them to get to listen. It's hard for me to get them to listen to me. So I clearly not gonna go back and forth with nobody on the internet. Matter of fact, through just guys and women, through this Kevin Samuel stuff, just the vitriol and the ignorance, I erase so many people from my social media because I don't even want that coming on my timeline. Like, I'm trying to do a cleanse for myself. Like, I want positive affirmation. I want to be in cahoots with like-minded people. So I don't even got time for it no more. I think Kevin was a pioneer because of what Chris began the show saying. He got up every day and fought this fight valiantly. I can't do. You gotta know, as a man knows his limitations, he knows his strengths, and that's my limitation. I can't do this. I can't go back and forth with women every day for no reason. So I think that I learned myself that when I see a woman and I see like, I think you do that. The minute I hear, oh no, I don't. Delete. So I used to go back and forth because I cared. So I'd be like, no, and everybody know me. They know I try to get you to see it a different way, to give you understanding. I just don't got time no more. So I may be wrong, and God might have to work on me, but I just don't care no more that much to say that. The minute I feel like I'm giving you a part of my time that I can be giving my kids or people who love me, and you are constantly trying to, like, not have a constructive conversation, but just trying to prove me wrong or bash other men that you've had in your life, or bash some other guy, I'm out of there. And when you hang up that phone, I'm probably gonna hang you up in my life.
Yeah, done. I said it. 2 disagrees. If you disagree with me twice, I'm gonna let you go talk to somebody that you agree with. You can have it. I don't care enough anymore. So good. We can talk, but this has to be a meeting of the minds. It has to be an exchange of intellect, a change of ideals. It is not going to be I say something and you tell me I'm wrong. You do it again.
Just intelligent conversations. That's all it is. We're interested in intelligent conversations. And Mario, you hinged on a very good point. Found myself there a lot myself. You care so much that you end up actually looking like the bad guy. You actually end up looking like the one who's being argumentative. And all you really want is to solve the problem. That is it. And you think that you're actually helping, but not in their eyes. So like you said, save that energy, because later on in life, you're going to wish you had that energy, and they only give you so much time. You can't be wasting it on the ones who don't want to hear you or don't even want to at least be open. So
that's the answer on Horace's question. That's why I think Kevin going to be missed so much, because no matter what people said, no matter how many people came against him, men and women,
time.
He still got every day to try to help. That's admirable. And anybody who does that day in and day out, hey man, that's why I say all the greats die young. Nipsey, Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ, and Kevin Samuels.
Hey, listen, I got in trouble about that same statement earlier, saying that the good ones die young. Oh, and I got a laundry list of everything that he didn't do, but I didn't get a list of all the things that he did do.
Everybody I named was not good in their time. Everybody I named looked at as good in their time of living. It was years after they became these martyrs, except for Nipsey. Like, Nipsey's on his way out. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, come on.
I want to say this on my closing, guys. every day I see people on the internet follow people and they say they want to be great, they want to get rich, they want to be this, this, and that. But there's a recipe for it. It's a process. You can't skip it. If you do, you're fooling yourself. If you get up every day and do nothing towards those goals, those dreams, it's just talk. I want everybody in 2022 at least finish a year having accountability. That's one thing that a lot of people, black men, black women, people in general, don't want to have accountability. So we talk about something else to avoid looking in that mirror or having that conversation that we need to have if we say we're truly trying to change or evolve or grow. Last off, energy is a big thing, man. So when I see people talking about empowerment, what are you surrounding yourself in? Because somebody made a good point. You know, I was in the gym. Yeah, I was in the gym. And I was telling the lady, you know, I was like, damn, somebody got the music blast and it was some ratchet shit. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry, man. I don't know who's playing the music, but let me cut it off. She was like, no, that's my tape. You know what I mean? So it's amazing to see how many people are absorbing that but reject truth. So you don't have a problem with the music that's talking about everything under the sun. You loving it, you blasting it, but don't think that ain't seeking into you. But then a guy telling you to, hey, take this moment to look at what you're doing or look at your situation, your past mistakes, your actions. That's a problem. And I think that's why this year those clips of him will continue to go viral. I hated to see, and this is my last point, media, black people, the same media that put us in the worst light is the same media we support. When they put out a bad story, we will shut stuff 100 times without even thinking twice. The same media that paint us to be stereotypical robbers, drug dealers, bad father is the same one that y'all take a story and share. So when I seen the thing, people rushing to talk about how the woman looked. Oh, he had overdosed on drugs. Oh, he died broken, penniless. All that stuff is irrelevant. All that stuff is irrelevant, but we do seem to love drama. We do love to wallow in negative stuff that makes us look bad. I'd be damned if somebody tell me I ain't shit, and then I'm gonna go and sell that newspaper. So just think twice, man, before you wallow in the mud or you dance with the motherfucker that's painting you bad. So those are my closing comments for the night. Chris, you got closing comments?
Yeah, man. I know earlier in the show, I really, really gave it to the men, and I'm truly disappointed to the men that's either emotionless about it, don't care, or celebrating his death. So I want to say that I'm really, really disappointed in them. But on the same note, I am evenly happy to see what the display that I've seen from men, and especially the ones that actually had conflict with the brother. I seen Dr. Umar put out a really good, I want to say really good. I just seen him being, he's not being catty when he gave his condolences to the man. Who else? D.L. Hughley. He was positive when he said things. Dr. T.I. Yeah, Dr. What's his name with the money guy? Boys Watkins. Yeah, he was somewhat supportive when I listened to the podcast. Something wasn't there, but yeah, I like to say I'm really impressed with the men who actually had conflict with him, can let that stuff go and celebrate the man's not celebrate the man's death and really give him honor and send him out the right way, man. Black man, you impress me completely.
Hey, good point. You said something tonight that was right on point. I ain't talking about what everybody else do, but we do. It's all about what we doing. So, ladies, man.
I'm gonna say what I always say, man, because I see that we got some publicity. Somebody finally listened to something that I said, and even though it probably wasn't in the best light, at least she listened. And we're gonna thank you for your post, because she actually tagged some people and posted us, the Black Super Friends podcast. She went out of her way to make a post letting people know that we exist and we are alive. And that's all I ever ask every Monday. And I appreciated it. You know, some are gonna like you, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Come on in and join the family, join the conversation. Give us some insight, because you may teach us something. We may think that we have it. But one thing for certain and two things are for sure. We won't act like we perfect. That's for damn sure. We'll be here 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Monday, and it will be raw. Tag a friend that this applies to. Share it on your page. We definitely appreciate you here, the Black Super Friend. What you got for him?
Mr. Hardy.
I want to just say this caveat. Kevin Samuels did not die alone. He died with a high value woman.
Ooh, on top.
Caveat.
He went out on top.
Cause man, oh man, everything. And then I seen the first picture that was going around when they lied on my boy, and it was so many people happy. Look, she a BB. Look. Well, when that real picture came out, silence.
And
I
she was
wonder
trying
if
to
he
help.
was still. Hey, listen, I wonder if he was still down low at that point in time. Cause
Yeah,
man,
all the gay, all that stuff, and I've seen so many men saying the gay stuff, and it's because they never had nothing like that. And I understand, but I digress to say everything they told y'all to do it 2 times. We happy y'all came, man. We happy that y'all came. You'll see us again next Monday, or if you can't argue, maybe you won't.
Listen,
yeah, that was supposed to have been the closing comment there. Dinky.
for sure. Later.